Bam.
Bam, we'll go from there. Yeah, I mean, I have like a little bit of an agenda, but it's the three of us, so this is a great opportunity to chat too. So I'll kind of run down my agenda and then just kind of go from there. Sound good? Oh, Michelle's raising her hand. What do you want, Michelle?
I'm just playing around. I figured since you were checking out special effects, I wanted to see if it like flagged a big hand up and sorry.
Heather, you're missing all the fun.
I don't know how to unraise my hand. Oh, wait, there it is. You're missing out, Heather. Too bad.
Darn it, a bad week not to video, huh?
All right, I'm muting you all.
All right.
Tired of hearing us.
Okay. I don't know if I can. Oh, yeah, okay, everyone's muted. Okay. So, yeah, so I guess the biggest things that I wanted to talk about after I was kind of playing around, I saw that I can share a screen. So I'll play around with that for next time where I can actually do a training with like PicMonkey or Hootsuite, but I wasn't quite sure how to do that yet, but I think I figured it out. But I'm not going to do it today because I don't want to play around with it and lose you all and put like funky screens of Paris up or something like that. But, just to kind of go a little further on what we talked about last week, that's kind of where I wanted to pick up on. Last week we were talking about the importance of personal development. And Michelle, I loved your post today that you put out there, because I think I know for me personally, when I see things like that, it kind of reignites me every time. I'm a big believer in positive words and positive reinforcement and all those things that, like, I love to see people's messages and posts that they put on their wall, just, that we put on our like pages and things like that. I love to see all those inspirational things that say, just take one step and the next step will happen, things like that. Those are all things that, some people think are totally cheesy. For me, they just totally motivate me. And so I loved when Michelle posted that, and that's honestly what personal development has done for me, because I feel like when I am reading things and listening to things that are building me up and helping to build my team up, all of you up, our team, I think that it reminds me, when I'm kind of feeling down and out about different things, it just reminds me that there's more to life than just your circumstances right there and then. And so what personal development has done for me is just to help me get out of those spots. And I think more than anything, just to realize that, that there's just a way, there's something bigger to life than just what we can see in front of us. The one thing that I do every day that's super simple, it takes about 5 minutes, and it's an email or a text. I think you can sign up for both versions, and I actually get both. It's Darren Daily, and I'll put the information. I've posted some things before, so maybe some of you have signed up for him before, but every day, 5 days a week, he will text me and everyone else, who's signed up for his thing. He texts you a little blip, and then you can click on it, and it'll take you to either a video that he's done or a short little audio. And it takes no more than 5 minutes every single day. So I do it every morning. They're always different. And then what I like to do is I read through the comments, and I actually will comment a lot of times. And actually the cool thing is Darren has many times commented on some things that I've commented on. So it's really cool that he's reaching out. He's got tons to do, and maybe it's not him, maybe I'm being naive, but part of me says that he is the kind of guy that would do that kind of stuff. He seems very personable, and I think that's why he's gotten as far as he's gotten, because he does really dig into people and really wants to understand them. And I know he's been working hard with Beachbody. I just wonder if he's going to come on the scene more and more, because I know he's doing a webinar. That's the Success Club reward this month that I noticed. And so he's just a really great guy to follow and to listen to. Like I said, they're very quick, short little tips. And then you can comment and you read other people's comments and see what they're doing. And I can tell you over the last couple months since I've been doing that, it's really helped me to kind of start my day and focus. And he'll give you like a goal for the day of just try this one thing. And it's simple. It's nothing big. It might be as simple as, he was talking about daily habits one of the times. And his daily habit that he wanted us to do was just try something new for 1 week. So if you always, for me, I seem to slump into my chair, get my coffee. I wake up early so that I can have my coffee and I do my morning quiet time, and then I read. And then before I look up, it's already like 7 o'clock and I have to wake the kids up by 7:30. And I get up at 6. And so he just talked about putting some daily habits in there and just trying them for a week. Whether it be, okay, so I'm going to do my personal development for 20 minutes that day, and I'm going to set my timer for 5 days and just see how that works. And I have been doing that, and it really helps to know that I have a timer, and that sets that tone of it's not going to be forever. I'm not going to get lost in this book, and I have other things that I'm going to get to, but I know that each day I'm going to set my timer and I'm going to do that. It's on my to-do list. Another great book that I recommend by him is called The Compound Effect. He has some great tips in there, and it just kind of expands on the mini tips that he gives to the Darren Daily every single day. So those are kind of my things that I wanted to kind of start off with, because I think, as I said before, and I'll continue to say it, and Michelle said it today in the post, personal development is huge. And I think it's something that gets lost very easily. And it's something that, you get your workout in, you start to drink your shake on a daily basis, but and you invite people occasionally, but that vital behavior of the personal development seems so easy to just kind of skip and not do. And for me, that's where the biggest growth has happened over the last 4 years. Michelle, I don't know if you have anything to add on that before I jump to something else, but.
I was just going to add real quickly, that you hit a big point when you talked about people skipping over the professional or personal development, that'll be the thing that seems to go. And I know that's one thing that I've heard many of the top coaches say, that initially that was something that was lacking, and once they something clicked, whether they went to a seminar or attended an event where that was what really stuck out with them, and they started sticking to doing personal development every day, that was where things really changed for them. And I can see why, because like you said, it makes a big difference when you take the time to do that, and you read something and it has the tendency to pump you up. Like I said, for what I posted today, it was kind of like a little pep talk. I had come across that graphic that I had saved on my computer as I was looking for something else. And it really spoke to me today. So that's why I felt like I wanted to share it with the team, because I thought, there is so much truth in that. If I would have given up Sunday and said, we have 5 days, 6 days left of the month. I have 0 Success Club points. Nobody wants to take a challenge with me for next month. I'm throwing in the towel, forget it. I could have made that choice. But instead, I chose to go the opposite route and to be better about the things that I was not doing, which was why I was where I was in the first place with 0 Success Club points. And honestly, reading my personal development was something that really helped me to stick to it, because it does fire you up. It did fire me up, and it kind of got me through the slump that I was going through. And I became real focused. with getting good about inviting and really going back to people who I've already invited who either I didn't hear from or maybe they did express an interest. And, I was praying and thanking God even today, like how things had turned around for me because, I'm at 6 points and I feel like it is attainable to make it to 10. And it just proved to me again why not to give up. I've still got a couple of days left of the month and I'm really going to push to try to get there. And at least come on 12/01, October 31st, if I didn't get 10 points, at least I can't say I didn't try. And that would be the difference between where I am now and where I was at the beginning of this week, because I know that I was not trying or doing what I needed to do. But I can't speak highly enough about the personal development. Whether you take, I know I've read, even if you just start out taking 10 minutes a day, that 10 minutes is going to build you up and it's going to make you feel more confident, which I think Carrie can attest to as well. That is a big thing with what we do. If we're not confident, it really makes it hard to talk to somebody. And I think initially, I don't know if it was a combination of things. It honestly probably was. But my confidence level to speak to somebody about a program or a challenge, I was really kind of timid and not really, I don't know, I guess I was just afraid of different things, the things that I was afraid of at that time. And I'm no longer afraid because I'm truly confident that if somebody is willing to put in the time and effort to be in a group with me and to follow the program, that they're going to be very happy with their results and work towards reaching their goals. They'll either be there by the end of our challenge or be closer to it and ready to move on. So definitely, I cannot stress enough to take that time. And if your personal development happens to be a national wake-up call, listen to that, that could easily take up probably 2 days if you're just doing 10 minutes at a time. But I've picked up so many things off of that national wake-up call over the last couple weeks alone that I'm just thinking it is really, really good stuff. And I don't know if you're going to touch on this, but, finish the year strong. This is what this is about. And it's about helping people, something that they touched on this week's call, I think it was. I don't know. I'd listened to a couple of them because I like to go back sometimes and catch some stuff. But they had talked about, you're planting those seeds and you're helping people. So maybe you don't look at Success Club points as a Success Club points. You look at it as 3 lives that you're working on changing. So 3 lives is the equivalent of making Success Club 5. So if you start focusing on people and you get 1 person to join, so then you have 2 lives left that you're trying to change in a positive way. If you look at that might click, and that might be where you set goals and you say, I'm going to get 3 people to take a challenge with me. I'm doing this challenge. I'm planning on following this program, and I want people to do this with me. So back to you, Carrie. That's what I want to say.
Geez, way to steal my whole next thing. No, I
read your mind.
No, she really, on the national wake-up call, she really hit it home once again. If you are not listening to those, I highly recommend those because it's a great way to just, 1, stay informed on what's coming, and 2, these are top leaders that are sharing tips with you. And, I wrote down some of her things when I was listening, and her whole thing, I can't even remember her name, but was finish the year strong. And she, just like Michelle was saying, I loved how she said, it's not looking at it from a Success Club or a points thing, because I know for me, it was real easy for me to get caught up in just looking at people as numbers when I first started. And I know many of you, it's Success Club is a hard thing to strive for, but it also is a great benchmark to really show that you're moving your business forward. But at the same time, it can be easy to get wrapped up in, and this is where I fell into prey at the beginning. I saw everyone as a Success Club point. And, oh, I could get that person, and that would be 2 points for me. And I could get that person, that's 2 more. And if I get that person, that's 3 more. You know, and it was just continuation. And now I'm at success, you know, this and this and this. And don't get me wrong, I value that very much. But you have to remember that you are dealing with people. You aren't dealing with numbers. So when you are inviting, you cannot go for the sale because you want, you know, you just want a sale or you want a challenge pack. That's why we stress the importance of asking questions and really getting to know your customers and potential customers. And that's why we do challenge groups, because it shows our challengers and it shows us that we care. We're not just out to sell a product and just say goodbye. Once we have sold that product, we plug them into a program, a system, a group, to share with them what we are all about. And so that's why those challenge groups are so important, to really showcase your group and to showcase yourself as a coach and really just show the value in challenge groups. And so, you know, just to go back to her point of, you know, with the National Wake Up Call, when she talked about the 3 people, your goal each month should just be to help 3 people, 3 new people. And so, you know, we have November, we have a few months or a few days left in October. I'm not giving up. I have 0 points, I'll be honest, 0 points, and it's killing me. But, you know, I've seen some of Michelle's posts. She's given me some good ideas. I've been following up with people. I have some people that I've started conversations with. I will not give up until 12:01, like Michelle said. And I honestly, I think I've shared this before, I have literally been on the phone or on chat with people before. 1 month, I believe, for sure, I was up until 11:59 signing a customer to make my Success Club. But, you know, I don't say that again to look at that number. I say that because then, you know, afterwards, I don't just say, all right, see ya, thanks. You know, I really messaged her back right away. I said, thank you so much. Thank you for trusting me. Thank you for that sale, you know, and I'm excited for you to get started. You're starting in a great program. You're starting with a great group. I'll have more information for you. And then, you know, obviously it was 12 o'clock, so I was ready for bed at that point. So just, you know, don't limit yourself and say that the month is over, because it's not over until it's over. But with that being said, we do want to look forward and look at November. You know, we should always be looking ahead as well, planting those seeds, starting new conversations. Because if those people that you've started conversations with in October were not ready to commit, or that conversation continues, you know, sometimes it takes a good week or 2 to talk through with someone. And that's okay. You have to be patient, and you have to understand that they just might have more questions than someone else. You know, whenever someone says, I'm so sorry for all these questions, I say, that's my job. Like, my job is to answer your questions. My job is not to rush you through something. Think of if you go to I'm thinking of someone who posted, Heidi Bortz. She's another coach, not on our team, but she posted something about a salesperson today, you know, at a car salesman, and how he only spoke to her husband. She was very frustrated. But think about how, if you've ever been to a clothing store, and you just have, or buying a car or anything, and you have questions and there's no one around, and you just want questions answered. Or if you ask a question, they are real short with you. You know, how frustrating is it when you just don't feel valued? You know, are you going to buy from that person? Probably not. Or you're going to find someone else who's going to help. And especially if, you know, it's something that you can go to another store easily and get, absolutely you're going to. You know, that's one of the reasons why I stopped going to certain stores, because I wasn't getting the help that I wanted. I'm not going to name stores because people might have great experiences at those stores. But, you know, and restaurants too, like all those things. Conversations matter with people. That's why they buy things from you, because you care for them. So I'll jump off my soapbox now. But, honestly, I say that for myself just as much too, because it really hits home, because there are some times where, it's 11:59, you just want to rush people through. Come on, let's go, let's do this. Why aren't you buying? What's going on? But you have to remember that, if they have questions, they want those answers. They're trusting you, and they've come to you in the first place. And honestly, health and fitness is a very personal thing. It's personal to invite people. When I have to invite people that I'm not sure are going to say yes, it's easy to ask the people that you think would certainly join. It's hard to ask the people that are either not the greatest of friends you haven't talked to in a while, or you talk to them, but you're kind of just acquaintances, and maybe they just mentioned something, so you follow up with them, but they don't respond, so you don't answer. Those are tough things to deal with. But if you just keep remembering that the relationship is what you put first over anything else, that's where the value starts to come in, and that's where you'll start to see more and more of the success happening. And success is totally different for each and every one of us. It could be one sale. All you could want is one sale. You just might want to make your first, customer happy. Or it could be you want to help 3 people next month, whatever it might be. That's all different for each and every one of us. But I do want to challenge you to help 3 people next month, in the month of November. I also am in need of 2 people for a team, what's it called? Fall Classic. So I can always sign up my husband and he can be on a team with me, but I would love some people to join me. I think it'll be a great thing. And I'm sure Michelle would have some, things that, cause she always hits it out of the park with any of the cup challenges. She is a go-getter in that sense. So I'm going to let her kind of take over and talk a little about the Fall Classic, putting you on the spot there.
So you know how I am about challenges, Carrie. So that has a little bit to do with why I think these cup challenges kind of fire me up a little bit. It's also the camaraderie that I have with the people that are teaming up with me. I think that helps because it keeps me accountable. And we've done different things there. And I think, again, it is what you make of it. If you really dig in and do the things that maybe you're being asked to try to do each day, whether you have a goal to send out so many invites, maybe it's just that you have maybe a list of 3 or 5 things that you are going to do every single day, and then you're going to check in with your group and say, this is I completed my tasks, or I've done all of these except this, I'll do this later. Having that accountability, I think, really is something that is great about teaming up with people for any of these cup challenges. For me, I happen to love getting free stuff. That just is, I'm not going to lie, I really do like getting free stuff. So that is a part of my my motivation as well. But I really highly encourage you, if you have at all any interest in helping people next month and trying to get them to join a challenge, I recommend that you team up with somebody. I do have a team. Carrie is in need. I also would be willing to put my husband onto a team and work his business, because I do need to do that. So I have a team that I can create with him by name, but it would be me as well that you would be teaming up with. But I cannot speak highly enough about that motivation during a time of year when I know it's going to be very easy to just get busy and busy yourself with other things and kind of let this slide. And when you've got other people as well that are not as interested potentially in exercising or doing anything healthy over the holidays, I think, the biggest thing that I'm going to try to work on, and I've already started that angle, is to get a group of people who want to stay focused through these holidays so that we don't gain that average. I've read different statistics, but it's anywhere from 8 to 12 pounds, they say, that people gain over the holidays. And I personally, since I started Beachbody, I'm very proud to say that I have not gained that, but I definitely did before Beachbody. I was definitely in on those statistics. I don't know how much I gained over the holidays, but I know that I always gained weight over the holidays in the past. And this is the first time in my life for a steady 4 years that I have not gained anything. And sometimes I even end up losing. And you know what? I'm enjoying the holiday food too. It's not that I'm sitting there watching everybody eat all this good stuff and I don't eat anything. It's more about moderation, and I choose the things that I really want to have versus some things I'm like, I could do without that. But I think if you take that, it might be a way to help get people to join you. And you can just talk to them. Like Carrie said, show them, that you care. They're all people. And this is a personal journey for them. And I've just become, I've really started hitting the questions, especially once they commit. I go even further because I find that there is a certain amount that I need to know prior to them committing to a program. And then there's other things that I need to know. And I just tell them, like, the more that you tell me about you, the better it's going to help me with encouraging and helping motivate you. And do I have your permission to call you out in a sense by sending you a text when you haven't posted in our group? I'm trying my best to put out there to let people know that, I genuinely do want you to reach your goals, and I'm here to help you in any way that I can. But if you're not communicating with me, you're making it difficult for me to help. So I think if you take some of those focus points, they will help you with getting through this tough time of year, but also being a part of a team and working with 2 other people, sharing ideas. You'll probably have a private Facebook group for your team, is a typical thing that we do. It's a great way to post, ask questions, and maybe even share invites. Maybe you guys can come up as a group on a kind of a general wording for an initial contact with people, and then help each other with maybe even the follow-ups and sharing responses. Because I think bottom line, those of you who are new and inviting people, I know for me that was a very valuable thing for me to have, kind of a script, and I didn't always follow it exactly. I think in the beginning I did more so than I should have, but it was a comfort level. But knowing that you have that, and you can kind of see how conversations gauge. And I know Carrie's more than willing to share some of her conversations. She's posted in our groups before. I think we need to get back on that a little bit more and share some of that, just to help those of you who still are not completely comfortable with the invites. But I talk about all that because being a part of a team, it's just a great way for you to pair up with some people, and you can kind of really powwow in a sense, and come up with some strategies together, and hopefully find some things that work for you, because that's really what it's all about, is finding what is going to work for you as a coach. So get on a team, because one, you can win some cool stuff if you reach your goals. I mean, you basically get some good stuff. I haven't really looked at the stuff yet, but I just know it's usually good. But for making, helping 3 people, making success of 5, you usually end up getting a prize for that. So anyways, that's my thing. So we've got about 5.5 minutes left. We can open it up if there's any questions. I will mute myself. If I don't know, Heather, if you can unmute yourself or not with your phone. So Carrie, maybe you might want to unmute her.
I'll unmute everyone.
Okay. And then just mute yourself if you have nothing to say.
Mm.
Am I unmuted?
Yep.
Oh, hey, no.
Hey.
Personal development stuff, I think for me, I need to, for me to feel more confident with the inviting and everything, I feel like I need to know more about the products. Like, I need to know what I'm talking about, especially the ones that I haven't done. Like, I've only done a couple workouts of T25. I wasn't a fan, but I love 21 Day Fix. I've done a couple of size classes with Michelle, and I even did a size workout today on demand, and I think I could like that one. But it's like, I feel like, because, 21 Day Fix isn't going to be for everybody. I feel like it could be for everybody, but that's not what other people are looking at. And if I don't have the knowledge of each individual product, or like, you know what I mean? Like, I feel like I don't know enough to tell somebody like, oh, this would to recommend anything.
Yeah.
So I think I need time to learn, like, maybe, I guess, start digging around on Beachbody and educating myself better on the products, even Shakeology, to be more than, it's delicious and you should just drink it. That clearly isn't going to do anything.
Yeah, I mean, I think for me, I know Michelle was going to say something too. I'll say real fast. For me, obviously I didn't know everything when I first came in. I didn't know anything about Shakeology other than I thought it was very expensive when I first started. And I thought, who's ever going to want to buy this? Those are my two thoughts. And so there's my confidence right through the roof, right? No. And so what I did was I started to ask other coaches about different programs and different things. And I also watched a ton of videos. So that is where I've learned the most. And I use a lot of third-party tools. So if someone asks me about a program that I'm not familiar with, I certainly go in, and even if they ask me that I'm familiar with, rather than me talking, I send them a video. And so anytime, whether it be Shakeology, whether it be a program, I send them videos so that they can watch. It's usually a 2-3 minute video, and it's a great way for them to digest the information through a video. And so you don't have to be an expert on all this stuff. Now, it's good to know the information, and it's good to educate yourself, but you don't have to know from the very start everything. So I think that's a great question, and that's a great kind of, starting point. And so maybe your homework over the next, whatever month is to go through the online office and look at some of those videos and kind of save some in a document of ones that you think would be good for, different scenarios. That's kind of what I did and how I got started.
Yeah, I agree completely with searching around in the back office, and knowing that they're there is as a resource is great, because even the programs I am familiar with, there's sometimes things that, because it's been several months, I don't remember how many workouts there were. Were there 9? Were there 10? Were there 7 different workouts? So I will look that up to get the specifics if somebody is asking about that specific stuff. So know that you don't have to have everything memorized. But I also will say that experiencing the workouts gives you a different angle in how you can speak about it. So, you tried T25 and
30,
and you were not a huge fan. Thank you. And so, but you can still talk about it a little bit, and maybe why you didn't like it. And maybe it might be something that you go to at a different time and you do like it, unless you just didn't like the trainer, which I don't know how you can't like Shaun T. I mean, what's up with that?
Yeah.
Just kidding. But, so with a minute left, we can talk more about that at a different time, but I definitely recommend trying a variety of stuff. I know you fell in love with the 21 Day Fix, but you might want to try something else just so you have a different experience as well. And then you can maybe, I don't know, maybe you'll fall in love with another program. So with that said, I think we need to wrap it up before we get cut.
Yeah. Thank you, everyone, for going. I will post the video up here. Feel free to post questions below this, too, like when I post the link, if there are things that you thought of later.
Yep.
Thanks for joining, and I hope to see you all next week.
Have a good night. Happy Halloween.
Night.